Dr. David Gregg is a biology professor at Willamette University, and he is here now to introduce us to a new and very exciting organization on campus.
Thank you, Harry. It's been my great privilege to be a professor at Willamette University since the fall of 2000. And but the very first time I came to Salem to talk about birds, I was a postdoc at Oregon State University, and the Audubons were the folks that hosted me. 1998, I came to Birders Night, so it's really fun to be here. And then one of the things that has been fantastic as the club has moved around and had different talks, different places. A while back, a tradition of inviting the students to come and talk about what their work began, and it's been exceptional in the way that it gives a friendly, generous, curious audience for young professionals to go and make external presentations in a way that's not just their professors. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I know you'll be kind and have lots of great questions. This group, Teya Fukuhara and Daniel Barnard are represented tonight. David Gregg was going to be here. My name is David Craig, C-R-A-I-G, and in the extraordinariness of the world, a student has come to Willamette named David Gregg, G-R-E-G-G. David Gregg is the most common misnomer that I have. People want to call me that, so that's pretty fun. Three students, all in their second year at Willamette University, each independently arrived at the university with some part of birds and featherness and sharing that was part of their interest. And then they heard about me, and then I connected them, and it's like an epoxy or a magic substance that each of them and their own strengths are extraordinary achievers, artists, scientists, and then the three of them together, they've made one of the most popular clubs on campus, one of the most inclusive clubs on campus in terms of the kindness and the range of participants. And then they do everything for birds. They just had they do the wild birds, but they also do, they just had an event that they'll share helping parrots. They bring in total beginners, just everything they are up for. So Harry was talking about the changes in the regulation for owls and feathers. I've worked a long time in conservation, and there's so many things that have been a part of my professional life and collaboration with students. It's very sad in terms of like the patterns of extinction and climate change and things that are irreversible that I've been a witness to and try to work on. What makes my job so fantastic is the creativity and the hope and the work that young folks are doing, like Teya and Daniel, and then what they'll share. And so you'll be, no matter how grumpy or crappy your day was, you're going to feel much better after listening to these two, just all the kinds of things that they do. So they'll do a presentation. I'll ask a few leading questions as needed. These two are also like great talkers. Their colleague David is a little more reserved, so unfortunately he had stepped through it. It would have been a great chance for him to speak. Sometimes, just as a credit, and where this is recorded, there are some alums who will see this. The very first talk they gave, and they were terrified, was in this group. And so, again, your previous recordings have been shared with these folks as part of our curriculum. Again, we really appreciate the collaboration of Salem Audubon and Willamette University. So, Teya? Okay.
Awesome. Hi. So we're going to introduce ourselves real quick before we get started. My name is Teya Fukuhara. I am a second year, as you said, as Professor Craig said. I am majoring in biology and minoring in environmental science. My favorite bird is a black-capped chickadee. I have one tattooed on me. And my first exposure to birds really was when I volunteered at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. I loved working with the chickens, my little ladies, and it's kind of just grown from there. I'm honestly pretty new to birding. I've really only started last year, but it's something that I really love, and I think it's really cool that a simple walk around campus can turn into the coolest thing ever when you see a yellow rump warbler and people are like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, it was the coolest thing I ever saw today. Okay. So, but yeah.
Cool. Hello, my name is Daniel Barnard. I'm a sophomore, and I am majoring in environmental science and minoring in art. So kind of a combination, having fun with this. I'd say my favorite bird is the painted bunting. I'm from Austin, Texas, so get a lot of migrant birds there. I travel to the Gulf a lot, do a lot of bird watching. Ooh, I think my first real intro to birding, I guess, was going and seeing the purple martins that nest around different parts of Austin. But it's been a consistent thing. So the Texas Audubon would do like a little group thing where they go and find the spot where all the purple martins would meet and just have like a little powwow there and watch them all fly in and land on the trees. Incredible sight if you have a chance to come to Austin and time of year. Highly recommend. Is very amazing. Then I came to Willamette. Um, I found Professor Craig through some research beforehand, learned that he liked Caspian terns, and then suck him out and kind of like started our connection there. And then met Teya and David, and it's been amazing.
Yeah, so we are gonna start our slideshow now. This is our logo. David Gregg made it. I'm just gonna refer to David Gregg as David and Professor Craig as Professor Craig now. So that's how you guys are gonna be able to differentiate them. But yes, so I believe they are white-breasted nuthatches, and they're making a W, and they are also holding an acorn. This is inspired by Professor Craig's research right now on white-breasted nuthatches and Oregon white oaks, and connecting them with health and other things like that. Yeah, and a W for Willamette. Yes. So that's us. But yeah, here's another photo about how we started. So I don't know how many of you do Instagram, but probably Facebook. Professor Craig is very famous on Instagram and Facebook, as in he posts a lot. So a lot of these photos are from his. I was actually able to find the exact day that David and I met through his Instagram. I think it was like mid-February or something, 2024. Yes. So I was in a class and biodiversity and climate change, and it was a great backyard bird count, so I went to that. And then after that, so that's how I met those two people first. And then Daniel can explain this photo.
Yeah. So after I kind of met Dave, he invited me on this crazy trip to Corvallis to the Willamette Valley Bird Symposium, and that's where I met David.
This is David Gregg.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope he'll smile next time. But
He smiles.
well, yeah, definitely. But that's kind of my first exposure with some of the people in this group, and then I met Teya afterwards. But kind of got nerdy over birds at the Bird Symposium, and Dave kind of gave us a little spiel about how we should start a bird club. Yeah, that's you.
I just want to introduce other folks. So it's great to have Daniel and David, first year students. Oh, yeah, sorry. Great to have Daniel and David, and then that's David Gregg. David Gregg, just look at the field marks there. And then Blake Carlisle is also a Willamette student, also an environmental science major. He had just recently graduated. Dominic Renberger was an environmental science major and was the teaching assistant in the class that Teya was in, the biodiversity climate change. Dominic did his, Blake worked on the slender-billed white-breasted nuthatch project. Dominic worked on bird airstrike collisions and did some stuff out at the Salem airport and is working there. And then this is Tyke James, the famous bird watchers, doing all kinds of work for National Audubon, Willamette, Wilderness Society, and now is in Colorado. And he was one of the keynote speakers at the Willamette Valley Bird Symposium. So, yeah.
So yeah, and then we just started the club the best we could, you know. Here's some. We went to. Was it? Who was it? It was. No, we looked at white-breasted nuthatch nest boxes with, who was it? I feel so bad. I feel so bad. I forgot his name.
That was kind of our entry level, was looking at I think they're house sparrows,
Yes.
because they're house sparrows, and we went to go look at some nest boxes on a property that the guy owned. Ray Temple, yes, Ray Temple, that Ray Temple owned, and we got to look at some different nests. Got to see kind of how nest boxes were made, because he had like a little outdoor workshop, and then kind of like. Mhm. And then kind of what the impact that the sparrows had, where they invaded different nests and were quite invasive towards the other birds.
So yeah, this is our first big like official kind of like club meeting, you know. This, what was that? September, yeah. This school year 2024, yeah. So as you can see, we're all super excited. And yeah. Yes. So now, luckily, because the sun is out, we're going to be able to do 30 minutes educational like club meeting, then 30 minutes to go out birding around campus. But like, yeah, to start a club, we had to make a constitution. We had to make sure that get signatures for like enough students who were involved, get a club advisor, which to no one's surprise is Professor Craig, which is awesome. And then we had to do a bunch of other things. That's what we spent from like February to May on, was like getting ready to become a club. And then this school year has been like the time that we've really been able to launch it, you know.
Yeah, along with that process, we also got ASWU affiliated, which is like the student body government. So they give us a little bit of funding to kind of do our trips and stuff like that, as well as, you know, getting stickers and posters. But all that's kind of a meticulous process, and dealing with all the like the nitty gritty stuff has been really fun, and it helps us get to know the other execs, and it's been a really good experience.
Yeah. So yeah, here are some accomplishments that we've done so far that I think is pretty cool to look at. Like I said, this is only our first year and we're not even finished. We've secured over $1,500 in university funding. We've raised over $700 with fundraisers. We've held 20 events in total, and we've worked for, I feel like it's even more than that, over 350 hours this past year. A lot of hours. But yeah, I think it's cool to see how much we've been able to do. Our mission is to increase student engagement with bird wildlife on campus and in the Salem community. Okay. But how do we do that? I'm happy you asked. Our mission is, we found that there are like 3 pretty core principles that we've been able to like build our mission around: interest, education, and service. By fostering interest and appreciation of local birds, and educating about science and conservation, and to preserve safe habitat for birds on campus and change the way our community interacts with birds, we find that those are really important ways to advance our mission. Yes. What are we doing about the safe habitat? Yeah, so we have some, we can skip to the slides. We are going to get there though. We do have a spot. Okay. What do you want? Okay. Real quick, talking about interest, to foster that interest, we do weekly bird walks and field trips to grow interest and create an appreciation for local birds. Education, we organize club meetings and events that center on education. A lot of our general club meetings focus on For example, one of our meetings was held on Valentine's Day, so we looked at cool bird mating rituals and dances like the bowerbird or the grebes, and that was really cool. Uh, no, this is it would be really funny if it was. This was an event that we held on November 8th. This was we called it an unkind murder party. And it was all centered around crows and corvids and a way to destigmatize, for like Halloween, a kind of spooky event. And it was a way to destigmatize crows and corvids on campus because I remember one time one of my friends, she texted me, this was last spring, she was like, Teya, a crow just ate one of the ducklings. What do I do? And I'm like, well, they do that, So it's a way to because and I've heard some people be like, I don't like the scrub jays. They're mean. And it's kind of a way to show that, well, they're corvids and there's some really cool things that they do and they're really interesting. And it was a way for people to be more appreciative of them and to not villainize them as much as sometimes you'll see. But yeah. Yeah, anything else you want to add?
We'll go over that again later on the slides.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're right. We did. Service projects. We use service projects to improve the way our community interacts with birds by improving Willamette University's urban habitat. We're gonna go a bit more into it, but this is a photo of us decorating we have a cafe on campus. It's called the Bistro. And right by, you can kind of see it in the window's reflection, is the Indonesian laurel. And during the fall, it's full of berries, and you'll have like, I feel like 80 cedar waxwings, maybe like 80 cedar waxwings in there. And when there's that many birds, a Cooper's hawk will be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is like popcorn for me. So it'll swoop by, and then all the cedar waxwings will fly into the window. So this was inspired by Professor Craig. How many years ago did you try to do a similar thing like this? Yeah, like 7 years ago. So we partnered with the Bistro, and we made sure to draw the lines for 2 inches so a bird doesn't think it can fly through there. And that's been up, and I think it's been pretty successful. I've heard people, they'll come up to me and tell me like, oh, I saw one cedar wax a bird that like was able to avoid crashing into the window. So yeah, we're hoping to potentially use some of the fundraising money to buy stickers, because those will be easier to put up on taller windows like Hatfield Library or Ford, that because we're able to get up there with a ladder, but it's harder to do those big windows too. So yeah, anything to add?
I don't think so, but we will also cover this.
Yeah, we'll also cover this one later, but yeah. But yeah, why Willamette University? We're not super big like the OSU Bird Nerds or OU, but yeah. This is also, I think David wanted to use this as an excuse to show off all the cool bird photos that we've taken and also the birds that we see on campus. Birds, that's why. Here's some amazing photos that we've taken on campus. Really pretty. I love all of them. Yes, Alex Capaldo is one of our, I think they've been to like, genuinely, before we had our big first meeting, we held 2 bird walks, just like ones kind of up there, and Alex went to every single one, has been to every single club meeting, and they take really good photos. I've gotten a camera and now I'm able to share that with them, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, you'll see a lot of the photos taken by Alex, and you can also buy some of them. So yeah. Yes, that is a bush tit, and I actually took that photo. Yes, I love the female bush tits. They're my favorite. I really like looking at them. How many birds have we seen on campus? How many bird species we've seen on campus this far? Maybe 30, 40. I feel like maybe more, but I don't know. I think that's pretty good. And then if we also count the migrating species that we'll see like fly above too, that also gets pretty good. And sometimes we'll have birds that like, I don't know, like there were killdeer in the fall. Wait, was it fall, right? Yeah, in the spring. Well, no, we did have those killdeer in the fall last semester that were not supposed to be there, but they were there anyway. So, yeah. Habitat. Our habitat is really cool. Whoa, there's some just really pretty photos. We have the millstream and star trees. They're giant sequoias. And the millstream is a really awesome place. As you can see, we have a lot of ducks. The ground staff feeds the ducks all year round, so we're able to have them all year so they don't migrate out. Yes. Why were the killdeer unexpected? I think it's because they migrate, right? So they're usually here in the spring, but they were here in the fall. So we theorized that I think it was bad weather, right, that made them stop on the quad. The number that we had in the particular place, yeah. Like 3 or 4, I think. So, yeah, not too many. That's crazy. I haven't seen 250. I'd love to see that. Mm. Oh, okay. Awesome. We have feeders on campus. I helped refill a lot of the feeders for my first year, and then it became a job. So yay, I don't have the job anymore. David took my job, but it's okay. I have 2 more. Um, but here are some amazing photos. They've been really great. People in the Salem community can relate with the turkeys. They also make their rounds on Willamette campus. And this one, when I was still refilling them, usually they like other birds like the black oil sunflower seeds. I put the more grainy one in there and they just ate that up, which is pretty amusing to watch, but there were some really angry house finches, but it's okay. Anything else you want to add?
Also the red-breasted and white-breasted nuthatches over on the other side. So from our logo, they're common around campus. We can hear them calling all the time, as well as house finches and other birds like the chickadee. So we see these fairly common around the campus, and there are several places around campus that you can find them. Currently, this semester, we're taking topics in biology 399, which is ornithology. And we get the pleasure of waking up at 8 a.m. and going out and bird watching. So we found a bunch of good places around campus where they like to hide, and we can commonly see them, and we're getting better. But yeah.
So I feel like a lot of the amazing birding at Willamette wouldn't be possible without the amazing ground staff. Our head groundskeeper, Jim Anderson, he has a dog named Petey, and I love Petey so much. I just wanted to make that clear. But we have a hummingbird area with flowers and flowering plants that are specific to hummingbirds, that they'll really like. That's around like our dining hall area. I think maybe both of these were there, but I know there's one spot that specifically Anna's hummingbird loves to just perch and just talk. Yeah, just right outside the door, and it sings its little heart out. We also, here is a young cedar waxwing, I believe, eating a berry from the Indonesian laurel, Portuguese laurel, sorry. And we have another beautiful photo of a bush tit. I really like the female bush tits. But yeah, yes.
So this shrub, many of you want to call this red flowering currant, right? So this is chaparral currant, which is a sister species, and we experimentally planted 2 of them on our campus, and they're thriving. And if you are right in the main walkway of campus, there's an extraordinary shrub. Starts blooming in December, and is in full bloom right now, right before the red flowering. And so it's really extended our hummingbird charisma place, put it right at the high traffic so that people could see hummingbirds on a regular basis. So that's part of the appreciation that Teya was talking about.
Yeah. Chaparral currant. Ooh. We have some more garden enjoyers. I took that photo. Alex didn't take that photo. I took some of these photos. Alex took most of them, but I did take some of them. But yeah, we have a ruby crowned kinglet, black-capped chickadee, robin, goldfinch. Yeah, we're gonna continue. We have some water enjoyers. This photo was taken when I was very like first week at Willamette for me, and we had some teenage ducklings, and they all managed to get on one, like, I think it was a rock. Yeah, one of the rocks. That was very cute. This is a photo from influencer Professor Gregg's of a very wet heron. We do have the heron on campus, which is really exciting. And I've seen them catch fish and crawfish, which is really cool to see. And like everyone freaks out whenever they see it. Like they're all so excited, and that's really cool. We also have geese. They've hopefully, I think they're planning on nesting again, and this will be their third year, right? Third year of nesting here, which is really cool to see. I feel like I'm trying to slowly convince people that geese aren't as bad as they think they are, but I don't know if it's working or not. But yeah, anything else you want to add?
Yeah. Same with the ducks. They've been walking around campus. We see them everywhere, just like paddling along, looking and surveying for best nest sites. Actually, today I was talking to a lady who was walking by Collins, which is our science building, and there were two ducks that were trying to look for a spot like right next to the stairs. But they have some really creative spots where they've found to nest. Last year, there was one right outside the theater. So I'm hoping to see where they nest this year and try to find them all.
Yeah, it's really cool because the ducks, they do tend to stay by the mill stream. They have their own little area by the groundskeeper's hut area. So when they're exploring for other nest areas, people take notice, and they're like, why are they doing that? And something that is cool is that, Professor Craig, he always leaves his messages open for like, if you see a bird, anything, let me know. But now it's really cool because we have the club. People are feeling more comfortable to come to us and other club members, and then we're able to share that information and passion with people and like also figure things out together, which is really cool. So, yeah. And we have a joke, bird enjoyers. That's a Cooper's hawk. We'll see them around campus sometimes, especially around the bird feeders. So here's some photos of nesting birds. Like we said, the ducks are searching, and soon it'll be duckling season. This is the aforementioned nest by the theater. And during one of our admitted student days, some ducklings were stuck in the mill stream. They couldn't get out. So Willamette students rescued them, and they were illegally kept in our dorms. I didn't say that though. In the dorm rooms, because of the avian flu. If we took them in, they would have been put down. So that's when Professor Craig sent out a thing being like, if anyone has an area for them, and I sent him like a page-long text being like, maybe I can put them in a cat carrier and fly them back to Denver or something. But by about that point, he found someone who was way more qualified to take care of them. But they're still, they're happy, right? Yeah, okay, they're happy. And they were the only, I'm pretty sure they were the only two ducklings out of all the ducklings that survived, I think. So, I don't know, fingers crossed for this year. But we will tell people to not count the ducklings because Oh yeah. This is probably going to be a next year thing, but we're hoping to make a duckling ramp along the mill stream to help stop to not have a situation like this happen again. We're still trying to figure it out. So yeah.
Keep you posted.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. We also had some killdeer babies, which was really cool. That was last spring as well. Here's a baby killdeer, a really good photo, yet again stolen from Professor Craig's Instagram. I like to call them pebbles. That's what I called the babies, because they did just look like pebbles with little sticks for legs. And that was their nest. They stayed in a parking lot. That's where their babies were. So the cones were put up, and we were able to like monitor them and watch them grow up and stuff, which is really cool. Yeah. More nesting birds. Yet again, it was Dominic, right? He put up a cam to watch the geese last spring with their nest, which was really cool to watch. And we also have we'll also have a bunch of bush tit nests too hanging around. So that's always cool to get to spot them and look at them. Do you want to take it or okay?
I'm chilling over here.
Yet again, flyover. Some cool birds. My favorite flyover birds are the cormorants because I love how fast they flap their wings. Because I just think it's really funny to watch them try so hard to fly. Otherwise, because they're really heavy. So that's just my favorite thing about them. But yeah, here's some past projects that we've done. Yet again, the crow party. Really cool. We were able to get our mascot, Blitz, pictured here. He was able to come and wear a cape and be all spooky with us. We watched a documentary that was about destigmatizing crows that actually had a Willamette alumni in there, which was really cool. That was working in one of the crow labs from the University of Washington.
Oh yeah, and also we gathered trinkets from the students and had like a little trinket contest. Yeah, judging contest to judge the best trinket, and they'd get like a cool crown that Dave made. It was really fun, and overall a really great night, and everyone really got festive with it. And yeah, turned out to be a really successful event, except for the pizza, which was
Yeah. Little Caesars, we ordered it ahead, and Little Caesars was like, "Oh, we're gonna do these people's orders," and then it was late for 2 hours. Hasn't happened yet. I don't know. Who knows? They're still the cheapest pizza, so we're gonna keep ordering from them. Yet again, here's the photos of the window strike.
And what I wanted to add earlier, but I can add now, is we try to make our events very inclusive to everybody. So bring in artists from the art department to help with the drawings on the wall. We're super fun, and I got to draw a lot of stuff. It was really fun. And I think we got almost all of the bistro windows done, but hopefully we're gonna make it a part, like a second part event to finish it, and maybe do the Collins windows. I don't know if Collins got back.
I'm not sure. That's a next year thing. But yeah, this is Alex, by the way. Just to let you guys know, put face to a name. But yeah, a lot of fun. We made pumpkin bird feeders. They were actually acorn squashes because the pumpkins were gone by that time because they were like, oh, a fun fall thing. But then they were like, oh, no more jack-o'-lanterns. So anyway, we did get one big pumpkin from a bio professor who gave it to us. And the squirrels really enjoyed them. I didn't have, I could have sworn I had a photo of a chickadee eating out of them, but yeah, this was yet again another really fun way for us to hang more bird feeders around campus because we do have a small campus, but it is still pretty big, especially when you're lugging around a wagon full of birdseed, you know? So we wanted to see if there was a way to get more biodegradable bird feeders out there for people to see more birds. We went to the Cascades Raptor Center, which was really fun. It was a cool way to see birds up close, which was really fun. I really liked that. That was cool. Here's some more photos. I think we ate some licorice root or something. I didn't like the taste of it, but here's some bird walks. These are really fun stuff. This was our first off-campus one at Minto Brown. Here are 3 killdeer, very pretty. They're very, very well positioned. And then the highlight was the barred owl, who, as we were going back, swooped in front of us, like across, and then posed on like this beautiful mossy branch. It paid actor, really. It was really cool. And that's definitely the highlight of, it's a big highlight. I love it. It's so cool. Here's another time we went to Minto Brown. We got to see a kingfisher with some food in his mouth, and we got to watch him eat it, and that was really cool. And we've been to Basket Slough as well. We got to see a female eat some prey on a wire, and then a male not eat prey on a wire. We have a northern harrier right there. Pintail. I thought this one photo of the cackling geese just like come all the way up, because it's just, when you see all those geese, there's thousands. It's so crazy to just see all of them. It's so cool. And I think those are shoveler butts. So
Also, we did stay on the road and we did not go on any trails since they are closed until March 31st. So just want to let you guys know we are still keeping to the rules and we are still enjoying our bird watching.
one of our first like club meetings was about how to be a responsible birder, and how to be mindful, and yeah, just how to be good with that too. So yeah. Xena is a private, Willamette owns a private section of the Willamette, the Xena forest. And that's really cool because we're able to do birding walks there. Here's some killdeer. We saw golden crown kinglet. Most of the time, I think we end up seeing a lot more frogs and mushrooms and newts, especially banana slugs. We see a bunch of banana slugs. But everyone there we're all nature lovers, so even if we don't see too many birds, we hear a lot. We're still like super excited.
Horned salamanders. Yes, yeah, we got to see different frogs. We got to see some chorus frogs. Not last time, but Dave saw a snake of some kind. He sent me a picture of it.
Yeah, rubber boa.
Rubber boa, newts, and it was an incredible herping night. even though we were there for birds. It was great.
Here's some more photos. We did a night walk. We wanted to do one at Minto Brown, but then we were like, oh wait, there's hours to that. So we went to Xena instead. Here's some of the aforementioned photos. That's Professor Craig being silly. And yeah, here's another photo. It's so cool because we're able to like go out all together and experience nature, because everything's connected, and to just experience like a big leaf maple, because like some people have never experienced that before, and just it's really cool. Current projects. Anti-Pluck Fest. This was an event that we just did Friday, and that was where we worked with the Fabric, Yarn, and Textiles Club, and we made anti-pluck vests to donate to the Exotic Bird Rescue of Oregon. It was really fun. It's really cool, and I love finding ways that like anyone can connect to birding, even something like Fabric, Yarn, and Textiles. And it's an amazing experience to get to know more people like Ellie Scott. She's an amazing person, and it's really cool to make those connections and find those shared passions that we all have.
Yeah, and with this teaming up collab, We got a chance to learn how to knit and to crochet and sew. So we're kind of getting some more life skills along with the birding and, helping out the community by donating a lot of stuff like the bird pluck vests. And questions? Ooh,
Oh yeah, sorry.
yeah.
I realized that we haven't.
Okay.
What are the anti-pluck vests? I realized that we've been calling them anti-pluck vests, but crocheting is very complicated, especially for people who've never crocheted before. So we ended up getting this sewing pattern where it's like it's a collar, like a really fancy, like ruffled collar kind of that someone would wear. It's basically when you take your dog to the vet and they get a cone, it's like that, but for birds. Because when birds are really stressed or they're really bored, they can start plucking their feathers and eventually they don't grow back. So that's a way to prevent that and give them something else to do while also looking pretty. And especially with rescued birds, it's pretty, they might come from pretty bad situations, or maybe they had a really good life or their owner died and they're really going through that. So yeah, another birding experience I had before college was I volunteered at an exotic bird rescue and I helped make toys and clean cages, and I saw birds who were going through kind of similar stuff. So yeah. Oh, yes. Did you have another question? Awesome. We are going to, us 5 students, we're gonna go to Florence, Oregon and do a spring break birding trip. So we're pretty excited for that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah. Future projects. Collaborations with other clubs. We've gotten emails from the Climate Action Alliance and the Mushroom Club. So Willamette University has a Climate Action Alliance that helps do civic engagement projects to help the environment. And they want to organize a joint trash cleanup and bird walk together to help the environment and stuff. And yet again, with the way that everything's connected, it'd be cool for us to help the Mushroom Club with their bird ID skills and for the Mushroom Club to help us with our mushroom ID skills. Yes. Okay. We do not have a herpetology club. Yeah. Oh, is there a herpetology club on campus? At the moment, there's not. We do have a biology club, which helps with like biological topics. And do you know if there's any students that are really into herpetology? Not right now. But I would love to get a bit better at that. That'd be really cool. Yeah. And we're hoping to share knowledge with each other about birds, plants, other stuff like that. And also Castaway Club, which is a fishing club on the at Willamette. And we're hoping to do some birding on the water with again, just see what pops up, see where our interests combined.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Now I have a microphone. Tim gave me a microphone.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so I'll pass this to the next person who has questions. But meanwhile, I'm wondering about the bird nerd clubs themselves. You referred to clubs at OSU and Oregon's University of Oregon. I'm kind of curious, how far widespread are the bird nerds? Are they all over the country or the different universities? Or
I think that there are like bird nerd clubs all over, I feel. We got the name Bird Nerds inspired from the OSU Bird Nerds, which is another ornithology club. We actually had a sign and we had to write Willamette University because they got us mixed up at the Willamette Valley Bird Symposium. We were like, oh, we don't want to steal their thunder. So we fixed that. But yeah, I think so.
and yeah, I'm just wondering how, when it was found, if it was a national thing, when it was founded or something like that. But it sounds like it's not quite that organized. So,
No, we're not that organized. It's just like our specific club was present like quite a long time ago, and then we kind of got back into it. They didn't leave any resources, but so we had to like make our own resources. But I mean, we got Dave, but we kind of revitalized it, and now we're here. So it's pretty exciting.
Cool,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like become a name for ornithology, you know? I feel like just something, a more laid back term for ornithology club. I feel like maybe that's just what it's kind of turned into. Yeah, and an overnight trip to see the puffins at Cannon Beach. We're really hoping do that. That's what we're doing some of our fundraising for, because as it was amazing, they're able to help us do a lot of different projects. But for when it comes to things like lodging and like trips for more than 2 days, we're not able to extend our rental vans for that long. So that's where we're able to use our fundraising money to do more things, you know, that we'd be able to do. So yeah. But yeah, fingers crossed. I think we are able to go. So I'm very excited for that. And yeah, fundraisers. So this is our first ever art print sale that we did. That was in November. We're gonna hold another one, I believe, next week, hopefully next week. And it's been an amazing way for us to raise money, to be able to have for fun adventures that we want to go on, and stuff like that. And it's also a good way for us to share our art skills and our photos that we've taken. It's just a really fun way for us to be creative and put more bird stuff out into the world. And you can, after the meeting, you can get stuff if you would like. Please. And yeah, this is the future legacy of the Bird Nerds. We're hoping to create a strong foundation for future Bird Nerd officers to continue this amazing club after we graduate. And we also hope to make a positive impact on native birds nesting on campus, or even if they're just flying by, you know, and really just create a really good community and outreach and help others. I think that's a big thing about what we are. So, yeah. Yes. Also, another thing, Willamette University is a public campus. So if you ever want to walk around campus and look at these spots that we've talked about and try to look at some birds, you're more than welcome to do so. Eat lunch at Gowdy, whatever you want to do.
Also, if anyone has like a specific like area they want to talk about at the Bird Nerds, you should definitely contact us so you can come and talk at our club meetings or something if you have something really cool you want to share with us. We'd really appreciate it.
Yeah. Or even if you want to show off your birding skills and help like do a bird walk with us, you know, like, yeah. So yeah, thank you. If you guys have any questions, please fire away. Oh my gosh, whoa, what a surprise.
What have you learned about birds by organizing people to understand?
Yeah. So the question was, how has leadership impacted me in birds, and what have I learned about birds? By being a leader, yeah. For me, I've definitely learned how to work as a team. For a big part of it, I thought that I had to do everything, otherwise the world was going to fall apart. And that's something that I've been able to learn how to trust people, and that is something that is really nice and really good, and to make sure to have really strong communication, and those are things that I genuinely am so happy that I've been able to learn and further develop, because I'm here with friends and it isn't, you know, I'm learning, and that's been a really amazing thing. I also think that with birds, because I'm getting to know so many different people, A lot of different bird nerds, you know, so they're all nerds about something. We have two club members who are really into evolutionary biology and evolutionary history with birds and stuff. So that's really cool to get to learn more about like dinosaurs and things like that. And it's just really awesome to get to learn all these different experiences. And with each topic, for each general club meeting, we make the slides ourselves, we do the research, and that's really cool to get to learn different things. We do these games, it's called Kahoot. So it's basically a game, I don't think so, but I just want to explain it. You get out your phone and it's like a trivia, like trivia thing. And we've made a bunch of different ones that are all about water bird, like just any bird identification. We'll watch a documentary and they'll have questions about it. We have one absolutely terrible Kahoot that I hate so much, but it's where it's just photos of Cooper's hawks and sharp-shinned hawks, and you have to guess which one it is. And it's really hard. And then once you think you got it, then it's the wrong answer, and you're like, oh man. So we have that. We also have one for Lincoln sparrow and song sparrow. So we have things like that that help us get better at noticing little differences and stuff, which is really fun. And Daniel has used his own funds to get little plastic ducks, like little rubber ducks, and we give them out as prizes. So that's pretty fun. But yeah, I've learned so much, so much.
And as you can see, Teya is the talker of the group. You know, as a leader, it takes public speaking, which is not one of my strong suits, but I try my best. But as you were saying, playing to strengths, we've done a lot of work in the background, as well as doing a lot of studying. So it's been really great experience. Helped connect me with more birders around campus and like outside of campus, like here. Nice to meet all of you. Yeah, and it's been really great.
Oh, we have.
I could tell from your pictures and what you said, you had a lot of feeders around campus, but what about nest boxes? Do you do that too?
That is an amazing question. Because of our topics ornithology class, Professor Craig has put up so many nesting boxes, like all over the place. Yes, and I was getting there. It was over winter break and I was texting David. I was like, hey, what are you doing? What are you up to? He said, I'm slaving away. And he sent a photo of the ladder and he helped Professor Craig put up all of the bird feeders on campus. So, I mean, the bird houses on campus. So that was really cool. And he mapped out all of them as well for my not ornithology project. Well, I might as well just knock two birds out with one stone and just do both. I'm doing geographical information sciences, and my final project is about I'm mapping out all the bird feeders on campus and bird hotspots. And if we have some particularly active nesting boxes, I might put those down there too, so people can see if they ask me, hey, where can I find birds on campus? I'm like, I made this map. So yeah, so yet again, a cool way to show how you can put birds into any conversation and they can't stop you. So yeah.
To add to the birdhouse, so we probably had 10 or 15 boxes up and around campus, and then with David Gregg was in a first year seminar class and wanted to do a project, and so they wrote a internal grant to go and put a bunch of boxes up to do slender-billed white-breasted nuthatch nest site choices, and so then wasn't able to do that project last summer. So we probably have about 60 boxes up right now, and the aim is way more boxes than we need, but this will give us insight into what do the nuthatches choose. So we won't be limited by boxes, and then we'll see what happens. This year, a few years ago, I talked about my growing interest in nuthatch, and then had a quiet period for a couple of years. But this year, if you have any white-breasted nuthatches nesting anywhere. We're really, really interested. Lots of students are getting spatial GIS analysis capacity. We're learning how to use drones to go and survey habitats and trees. And Willamette's going to get 2 MODIS towers to complement the one that's at the, we'll have one in Bush Pasture Park, hopefully, then another one out at our Xena property. And we're really going to try to get to the question of how many trees does a nuthatch need? And then what is the best thing for a box? And the club folks are key part of learning how to talk about the general values. Yeah.
Right now, I'm in aerial methods, which is drone flying. Because as an environmental science major, that is required along with GIS. But one of our little studies was reading up on like different drone studies and surveys that they've done. And one of the key ones that I found was really interesting, especially for birds, connecting drones and birds together, is a study they did in Texas where they used heat and LiDAR to track different marsh birds and try to identify them. So hopefully in my line of work, I get to do that and kind of learn how to use drones and use my love of birds.
Any other? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just, I don't know what the size hole is for a nuthatch. And have you observed already starlings trying to make the hole bigger so that they can use them?
We need to pay more attention to the nest boxes personally.
That was on worksheet number 5 in ornithology class. 1 3/8 is the preferred. They'll use bigger holes and they can get into like 1.5 inches. We do not have many starlings on our campus in a mystery of, we also have, so we have had, our eBird checklist is a pretty good hotspot for campus. I think we're at 110 species or 110 birds, 108 species, and then two unknowns. One that we don't yet have that has been right next to campus are we haven't had the Eurasian collared dove. So it's like, I've seen it fly over campus once, but it's like nearby hasn't landed. Some of the excitement that you're hearing from the students about killdeers, it's like there's things that are, again, you can see 200 in a good cow field, but to see 3 in the middle of our quad on campus is pretty extraordinary. We live and are on this campus, and so we take really common birds, our ducks, barred owls, and they really can be transformative to our experiences because we're spending all of our time studying, and so we really make the most of what we've got. And then to Harry's prompt with the big questions about federal funding and politics and stuff, it's like the way in which the administrative work these folks are doing and the questions they're inviting the campus to and talking about ethics, they're verging in these big things. And sometimes I'll come in, they'll be arguing about something, and I'm like, I'm so happy for the future that they're having these conversations. They're completely ignorant. They don't know what they're talking about, but they're so passionate and engaging, and then they're figuring it out. And then other times it's like, can you imagine going someplace and seeing 15 young people on Friday night trying to identify Cooper's hawk versus sharpshin hawk? I mean, that's just like a really makes you feel good kind of thing. So yeah. And then it's really, really neat.
It's really fun. We'll be able to make jokes to each other, like we did a bird topography class, and like we just think the part in between I hear the lore of the bird, we just think that's really funny. And things like that, and it's really cool to be able to share those moments together, and it's really cool. Yeah.
Together very well.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Awesome. Yes.
Wait. Oh, so one of the perennial challenges of us meeting, we used to have the Audubon folks on campus, and I was trying to mix the demographic differences. So we've got a few decades between most of the folks here and these folks here. And so are there any pieces of perspective or advice anybody from the audience would like to give, or hopes or dreams you have that when these folks are your age, that they will be thinking about birds and the world. And I don't want to call you wise elders or a seasoned people, but just sort of, is there anything you'd like to share? Because this is a really special opportunity to go and pass things forward, or things that you learned. So I'll just.
Awesome.
I'm on the student body, actually. So I vote for different things in behalf of the students here as a senator. Sadly, I can't do it next year since I'll be abroad, but I'm getting involved. And I mean, environmental policy is really interesting to me. I worked for a private business in Texas doing geospatial work, but we worked a lot with the different laws there to help get valuation taxes for different landowners, since if they're switching over from agricultural use to wildlife use, they can do throughout like a few years, they can do good practices like bush management and like riparian restoration, bird counts, census, crop rotations, all that stuff, to kind of improve their land for different species and like that, and that stuff like that. So getting involved, getting more opportunities is always good, and we are very active.
Yeah, I would love for a club meeting or two to do like advocacy days or something, because I follow Bird Alliance Oregon pretty closely. I'd love to maybe volunteer with them at some point, but they have a very good, strong community action area. And I thought a good club meeting idea would be for us to just all get out our Chromebooks and email all the representatives and have like a list of initiatives, things like that. And our civic engagement has reached out to us and been like, hey, if you need any help figuring stuff out like that. So I think that's something that we definitely want to tackle. I definitely want to tackle next year. We have so many ideas and we're so like ambitious, and we've done so much, and we're just trying to figure out what we're able to do mentally and physically and stuff. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So one thing you might consider after you get out of school is groups like Salem Audubon, and there's Audubon chapters, there's about 500 of them around the country. They all work on volunteers, and there's opportunities to get involved in those groups on all levels, including even on the board, which gives you great connections to the community, the birding community, as well as do a very useful service to groups like that.
Yeah. I think I've definitely learned a lot, and I'm feeling a lot more confident to do leadership past this, and also to just be a better person, and to grow beyond mine. I don't know. I have one question. How do you guys do a lot of things at once? I guess, I don't know. Like, how do you figure out? Because I'm very involved, and I'm barely like, burnout is here and I'm here and I'm like running like this. How do you guys have any tips on that, or do you just kind of deal with it?
Yeah, my advice is stay with one thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we are not really, we think we're good multitaskers, we're really not.
Awesome. Yeah.
I just signed up with WFO this morning, and after multiple studies with a person in California, we spent an hour and a half just registering. And that was after probably 20 to 40 hours of studying, 18 pages of field trips.
Wow.
Then I'm going to the Crane Festival next week. I've never been to the Crane Festival. And then I'm registered with somebody here at the Grays Harbor for shorebirds.
Ooh.
So I have things that I want to see and view during the year. And I'll tell you, it's like going to school. I think that jobs are easier than going to school. I think it's really tough because you have so many things you're doing and you're changing all the time, adapting to that professor or that goal that you have, or those things you have to write.
Definitely. I definitely
That's
agree
my
with that.
life.
Awesome. Oh yeah, Daniel was wondering where the Crane Festival is. Washington. Okay, sick. We can? Maybe. Okay, we might be able to get over there. Who knows? But yeah, wait, what time is it? Did we go walk through it too fast? Or no, wait, we went overtime. Yay! Okay, sorry. Woo! Thank you so much.